नमः सर्वेभ्यः कक्ष्यायां स्वागतम्। अस्माभिः इदानीं अश्वघोषस्य पठितं भवभूतेः अपि भासस्य पठितं भवभूतिः इत्यस्मिन् विषये पठनीयमस्ति। भवभूतेः भागः भवभूतिः उत्तररामचरितं भवभूतिना रचितं प्रसिद्धं नाटकम्। सो उत्तररामचरितं प्राबब्ली उत्तरकाण्डविषये इति मन्ये, अर्थात् अन्तिम भागः। भवभूतिः महावीरचरि चरित इति मन्ये, चरत इति न स्यात्। महावीरचरित नामकम् अपरं नाटकं मालती माधवम् इति प्रकरणम्। इट्स् ए वेरैटी आफ् रूपकं प्रकरणं चापि रचितवान् अस्ति। तो अत्र अत्र सूचितमस्ति, अत्र प्रकरणम् इति किञ्चित् अन्यभाषासु यत् नाटकम् इति उच्यते, फॉर एग्जांपल इन कन्नड़ा हिंदी एक्सेट्रा, नाटक इज ए स्टेज प्ले फॉर अस, बट नाटक इज ए सब वेराइटी। अन्यभाषासु यत् नाटकम् इति उच्यते तत् संस्कृते रूपकम् इति उच्यते। रूपकम् मीन्स् गिवन ए लाइफ फॉर्म ऑन द स्टेज इज रूपकम् इति उच्यते। रूपकेषु अन्यतमम् अस्ति नाटकम्। नाटकम् इज जस्ट ए सब वेराइटी विद इन रूपकास्। प्रकरणं चापि रूपकेषु अन्यतमम्। जस्ट लाइक नाटक is a variety, prakarana is another variety. Prakarana gives like some kind of a incident, that kind of sense. So maybe like a upakhyana rather than a main katha. सो मालवी माधवम् इति प्रकरणं चापि रचितवान् अस्ति। सो उत्तररामचरितं, महावीरचरितम् अपि च मालती माधवम् इति प्रायः। एतस्य रूपकाणां प्रस्तावनातः, प्रस्तावनात् इति किमर्थं तहसील् प्रत्ययः नास्ति। I mean, it is not good to use तहसील् everywhere. It makes for difficult reading. Native Sanskrit is better. एतस्य रूपकाणां प्रस्तावनात् ज्ञायते एतस्य श्रीकण्ठः इत्यपि नाम। सो भवभूति आल्सो वाज नोन एज श्रीकण्ठ। एतस्य पिता नीलकण्ठः, माता च चतुकर्णी। इंट्रेस्टिंग नेम, जतुकर्णी, क्षम्यताम्, जतुकर्णी। जन्मस्थलं च दक्षिणापथस्थं पद्मपुरम् इति। सो लिटिल बिट साउथ ऑफ नॉर्थ इंडिया, नेसेसरली डजंट मीन साउथ इंडिया, या। सो एषः बहुशास्त्र विशारदः आसीत्। भवभूतेः कालः क्रिस्तशक सप्तमम् इति पंडिताः अभिप्रयन्ति। सो 600 AD to 699 AD. So Bhavabhuti may be a Kavya Nama and his actual name must be Sri Kanta, etc. So remember Uttara Ramacharitam, Mahavira Charitam and Malati Madhavam. Malati Madhavam is a Prakarana. Others are some kind of Natakas. Mahavira Charitam, here there is a correction. It corrects the above. Okay, Mahavira Charitam, Uttara Ramacharitam cha Ramayanasya Adharena Likitam. Oh, Mahavira Charitam, I imagined Mahavira to be Jaina Mahavira. So it may be a different concept here. Anyway, Adharena Likitam. Malati Madhavam Kalpita Kathayaha Adharena Likitam. उत्तररामचरिते रामायणस्य उत्तरकाण्डस्य कथा अस्ति। सीतायाः पुत्रप्राप्तिः तत्र वर्णनं वाल्मीकेः, वाल्मीकि ऋषेः आश्रमे। भवभूतेः शैली प्रौढा। सो भवभूतेः षष्ठी एकवचन। उत्तरे रामचरिते भवभूतिः विशिष्यते। ओके, सो ओके, प्रशंसा प्राप्ता अस्ति भवभूतिना। सो ही एक्सेल्स इन उत्तर रामचरितम। Okay, some little bit about this person. We, rather than read about them, in fact they never bother to describe themselves, so rather than read about them, it will be more appreciated by his atma wherever it resides now if we actually consume a little bit of his creation. That's how they live on. शूद्रकः मृच्छकटिकं, मृत् शकटिकं. what all sandhis have happened is mrut, it becomes jashtva, mrud, shakara, shakatikam, shankara shakara, shakatikam becomes chakatikam after mrut becomes mrichdu chartva. Then, chatva happens. Very interesting. Huh? So there is jashtva, chartva, chatva all at play. मृच्छकटिकम् इत्यस्य रूपकस्य रचयिता शूद्रकः. But Sanskrit Bharati's exam, if they ask, you should say Chatvam. Maybe Chartvam also you can indicate. Shudrakah. Eshaha Raja Asit. So he was a king. Sattvashali Kavihi api Asit. So he was a Kavya Shakti api Asit. Tasya iti jnayate. Veda Shastra, like I mentioned, sometimes the Kavis of the Asthana, they would write in the name of the king also. Veda Shastradishu api etasya Pandityam Asit. शूद्रकः दाक्षिणात्यः इति बहवः विद्वांसाः अभिप्रयन्ति. एतस्य कालः क्रिस्तशक चतुर्थं स्यात् इति ऊह्यते. चतुर्थः स्यात्, कालः चतुर्थः. मृच्छकटिकं शृङ्गारप्रधानं रूपकं. So there is Shringara. So that's that. This one, Shringara. Okay. So obviously love affair and things like that. Mritchakatikam Shringara Pradhanam Rupakam. Atra Hasyarasaha Visheshatah Drishyate. So though the Pradhanyata is for the Shringara Rasa, Hasya Rasa is also specially seen. Shudrakena चित्रितः विदूषकः शकारः इत्यादयः पठितृषु श्रोतृषु च हासं जनयन्ति एव. So he has actually a joker in the pack of his characters. So the joker, his name is Shakaraha. I don't know. It's a play on Vyakarana Shakara, Shankara Shakara. But anyway, Shakaraha ityadayah patitrushu amongst the readers, shrotrushu, those who listen. च हासं जनयन्ति एव. चारुदत्त वसन्तसेनयोः वृत्तान्तं वर्णयन्. So Charudata is the hero and Vasanta Sena is the heroine. So tayoho vrittantam varnayan Shudrakaha tatkalina rajakiya vrittantam api varnayati. So one more important thing we glean from his description is the how the kingdom prevailed, what kind of society it was. Patrachitranam, rasaposhanam, ityadayah gunaha mritchakatike visheshatah drishyate. So he's very good in painting the characters and giving feelings a sense in his kavya with rasaposhana by introducing rasayukta kavita in his works. As you know, most Rupakams are like mixed granthas. In the sense, they are like champus, roughly. Some of them may be purely Gadya because they are purely conversational. But here and there, characters will break out into verses. So you can, but we don't try to go into the other part of Sahitya and look at them as Gadya, Padya. They're simply Rupakas. Okay. So essentially, it's not all just verses. Bhatta Narayana. So that is about Shudraka. So you can see it's translated into many other languages and textbooks are there around it, etc. This Chaukamba, there are some, it's got split. It was a great Sanskrit publisher in Varanasi. Now the brothers have all dispersed and cousins and brothers. So there are like, if you try to go to that zone, you'll find 5 Chaukambas. So I don't know. I also went to one of them and bought a few old books. Mritchakatika. I don't know what is written there. I can't read. Hindi Vyakyanopetam. So it is having the Samskrita Hindi Vyakyanopetam. So it is having both Vyakhyanas there. So finally it means mud chariot. Bagini?
Sorry, I wanted to tell you that I found it in Romanian language last year.
Mritchakatikam.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Good, good, good. There has been an Indologist before you in Romania. Nice.
There's a
Yes,
Okay.
movie in
there's
Hindi
a
also, no?
Bengali lady
Called
who
Utsav.
lived in Romania many years. Amita
Oh, she
Bose.
took it upon herself to bring it into Romanian. Oh, very nice
Yes,
of
yes.
her. Yeah,
There was a Hindi
appreciate.
movie also, no? Utsav.
Utsav is based on Mritchakatikam. Huh?
Yeah.
Thanks, Bhagini. Thanks. I am not much of a movie buff, so that's news to me, but nice to know. Actually, some of the early movies like 50s, 60s, they did, do some classics like this. After that, it fell off the rack. After the Bollywood became Bollywood, it became different than what we desire. Anyway, Bhattanarayana वेणी संहार नामकस्य प्रसिद्धस्य नाटकस्य रचयिता भट्टनारायणः. This I don't know if anybody will remember a kavi, but this Veni Samhara is famous. Okay, Veni Samhara नामकस्य प्रसिद्धस्य नाटकस्य रचयिता भट्टनारायणः. So you can imagine the katha right from pictures that I have put, right? So it is Bhima, sorry, not Bhishma, Bhima Pratigna to actually, yeah, even Draupadi Pratigna, you can say. Draupadi, after the Apamanana that takes place in the court of Dhritarashtra by Dushasana and other Kapatas, she takes oath. Though the artist here has painted as if she's dressed in some makmal, etc. No, she was actually at that time when she was dragged into the court, she was a Rajaswala and Ekavastra Bhara. That means she was actually not to be seen publicly at that time. She was in that period of her monthly cycle, and she was having only a single cloth around her, and that's when she was dragged into the court by Dushasana. And this portion of Vyasa's verses have to be read. It's very interestingly written by Vyasa. He accurately paints each character beautifully in his verses. The lameness of Dhritarashtra, who anyway can't see much, but he's anyway blind even by nature. That's why he's blind physically also. And Vidura tries a little bit, and Bhishma is like, not having any significant active role in this whole thing when he should have stepped in. And it is sad, but beautifully painted by Vyasa. Okay, anyway, so based on that, Bhattanarayana has taken off, and I think he's written this Rupaka. Okay, Nataka. वेणीसंहारनामकस्य प्रसिद्धस्य नाटकस्य रचयिता भट्टनारायणः एषः अष्टमे शतके आसीत् इति पण्डिताः अभिप्रयन्ति. एषः कान्यकुब्जप्रदेशे, कन्नौज् आफ् टुडे, कान्यकुब्जप्रदेशे जातः इत्यत्र तु न कस्यापि विमतिः. एव्रिबडी एक्सेप्ट्स् इस् ए कान्यकुब्जप्रदेशस्थः. वेणीसंहारः महाभारतस्य कथाम् आधारीकृत्य लिखितः. संहारः, संहरणम्, एकत्रानयनम्, टु कलेक्ट् टुगेदर्. दुर्योधनादीनां संहारं कृत्वा, having killed Duryodhana and others, द्रौपद्याः केशान् भीमः वेणीरूपेण बध्नाति इत्यतः एतस्य नाटकस्य नाम वेणीसंहारः इति जातम्. So it was an oath that was taken by Bhima that he will tie back the hair of Draupadi only after killing these Kauravas and using their blood to actually comb her hair and tie it back. You can imagine. Okay, interesting. Okay, so etat natakam veera rasa pradhanam. So this one you cannot really do a normal samasta. Huh? Veni bandhanaya samharaha. Like that, some madhyama padalopi, something you have to do. Okay. Etat nat
Kesha. It should be Kesha Samharana.
Veni is also Kesha only. Veni.
Veni, I thought, is a braid.
Braid, yeah. I mean, basically to collect the braid, I was trying to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in that sense. Okay. Etat natakam Veni Veerarasa Pradhanam, obviously. Veerarasa Pradhanam. Though it also generated jugupsa in us, probably. But I think it's more about the actual later half rather than the We don't know. I don't know personally what is there, how it is laid out, but it will be interesting. Samagram natakam nataka lakshanaanugunam eva rachitam asti. Okay. अतः लक्षण निरूपणावसरे something is wrong there. लक्षण निरूपणावसरे बहवः लक्षणकाराः वेणीसंहारस्य श्लोकान् एव अधिकतया उदाहरन्ति. करेक्ट. अवसरे लक्षण निरूपणावसरे. So when there is an opportunity to give an example for a particular characteristic of something they're defining, lot of lakshanakaras, that means those who write about how the kavyas should be classified and what kind of material, etc., they give the examples of Veni slokas from Veni Samhara. See, though it is a Rupaka or a Nataka, see, slokas are there in that. Interesting. So he has shlokas in the mouth of the characters, looks like. Adhikataya udaharanti. Patra chitranam tatrapi bhimashvathamadinam chitranam. Oh, Ashwathama comes in, who kills the Pandava putras. Okay, Bhishmashvathamadinam chitranam apurvam asti. Bhattanarayanasya shaili praudha. So it's not a sarala kavya. Etasya bhasha prabhutvam pandityam cha shlaghaniyam asti. Ekaya kritya api saha vishesha prasiddhim praptvan asti. We only know about Veni Samhara of Bhattanarayana. Okay, all right.
Mahodaya, you have Panchali Sabatam written by Bharatiyar and Tamil, Mahodaya, same.
Panchali?
Shapatam, Shapat.
Shapatham. That Shapatha leads to this
Shapatham.
Veni Samhara incident. Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Yeah. The oath taken by Panchali or Draupadi. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's about those kavis. So let's very quickly try to conclude this lesson. So those who wish to participate, please do raise your hands in good numbers. Let me call one by one who wants to participate. If not, okay, there are some names coming up. Thank you. So Uttarani Likhata. So I will invite Sudhir Chandra Mondal Varya. Prakritihi ka vikritischa ka. Do you remember?
मॉडर्न प्रकृति ही का विकृति कहा प्रकृति ही भरणम विकृति जीवनम
जीवनम मा जीवितम. Well done. You will get full marks. Okay. Maranam prakritihi sharirinam vikritiर्जीवितम् उच्यते बुधैः क्षणमप्यवतिष्ठते श्वसन् यदि जन्तुर्ननु लाभवानसौ. Nice. So next one for Niranjana Varye. I remember her name now. Sarah katham grahitavyah.
यथा हंस क्षीरोब्धं क्षीरं पृथक् कर्तुं सारभूतं ग्रहणं करोति तथा मनुष्य जनः अपि सारभूतं ग्रहीतव्यः.
शास्त्राणां सारं. शास्त्राणां
सारभूतं ग्रहीतव्यः.
शास्त्रेषु सारभूतं गृहीतव्यं. सारभूतं गृहीतव्यं.
सारभूतं.
Okay, I mean, if you start kartari, complete kartari. If you start karmani, complete karmani. That's important. Don't mix up. That's all. Well done anyway. So first one was Maranam Prakritihi Jeevitam Vikritihi. Vasishta Shishyena Ajasantwana Vachaha. Context was that. Okay. This one, I don't know whether I quoted there. So this one comes as part of Kalidasa's work, right? We saw even reference somewhere there, I think. So this is during Aja's turn of story in the Raghuvamsha. Okay. That is when I think one of the students did mention when he lost his wife due to the shapa. That is when this verse came out. Okay. सारः कथं ग्रहीतव्यः भगिन्या उक्तं तत्र श्लोकं पठामः. अनेकशास्त्रं बहुवेदितव्यम् अल्पश्च कालो बहवश्च विघ्नाः यत् सारभूतं तदुपासितव्यं हंसो यथा क्षीरं क्षीरम इव अम्बुमद्यात्. सो यथा हंसः अम्बुमद्यात् अथवा सागरात् क्षीरं पास्यति तथैव अस्माभिः शास्त्रभूतं सारांशम् उपासितव्यं, समथिंग पातव्यं, ज्ञातव्यं. You can change the verb. Okay. So hamsah yata ambumadhyat kshiram upasate tata sarah grahitavya. If you leave it as sarah. Next one for Subramanya Kumar. Amrutayamanam vachanam kim.
Kim. I think this is Dilipa. Yeah. Amrutaya manam vachanam yatha simha yatha Dilipah avangmukha abhut.
Yada, not yada.
Yada Dilipah avangmukha abhut तथा धेनुः तदा धेनुः इदं सर्वं कल्पितम् इति उक्तम्.
उत्तिष्ठवत्स इदं सर्वं कल्पितम् इति उक्तवती. तदेव अमृतायमानं वचनं दिलीपाय. Okay. Well done. Well, actually you went about it quite professionally. I appreciate that. उत्तिष्ठवत्सेत्यमृतायमानं वचो निशम्योत्थितमुत्थितः सन्ददर्श राजा जननीमिव स्वां गामग्रतः प्रस्रविणीं न सिंहम्. That's what. उत्तिष्ठवत्स, that's the critical part. उत्तिष्ठवत्स इति नन्दिन्या दिलीपाय अमृतायमानं वचनम् आसीत् or something you can add. Okay. Next one, Padma Nageshwarye. You can read and answer. Number 4.
अनुष्टुप् छन्दसि कति अक्षराणि भवन्ति? अनुष्टुप् छन्दसि 32 अक्षराणि भवन्ति. प्रतिपादे अष्ट अक्षराणि
स्त्रीलिंगक अष्ट अक्षराणि
भवन्ति.
Remember, numbers are trilingaka after 4. Okay. Pancha is in all three lingas, pancha only. Doesn't change its form. Okay?
Yes, Mahoday.
Very good. So ahatya. So that's what. Anushtup chandasi chaturshu padeshu ahatya 32 aksharani bhavanti. Like Bhagini said, it is better to put both numbers. Pratipade ashtaksharani bhavanti. Like that. Thanks. I think you guys are all ready for exam. Lakshmi Krishna Varye. Panchamasya patanam prashnasya patanam krutva uttaram diyatam.
Amarakoshasya vastavikam nam kim.
Nama kim.
Nam kim.
Nama kim.
Nama kim. Amarakoshasya vastavikam nama namalinganu shasanam iti.
Shasanam iti. Very good.
Shasanam iti.
Namalinganu shasanam iti amarakoshasya vastavikam nama asti. Well done.
Yes.
So now second set. So now more people can raise their hands, but Sridevi will get the first one. Sridevi Darisi. Vigrahavakyam samasanama cha likata. Patitva vadatu varye.
दिक्पालाः दिशाः पालाः षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः.
दिशानां पालः दिशा शब्दः भवति. दिक् इत्यस्य दिशां पालाः. दिक् इत्यस्य षष्ठी बहुवचने दिशाम् इति भवति. अस्तु, चिन्ता नास्ति, मनसि स्थाप्यतां. दिशां पालाः. ओके, षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः. सम्यक् उक्तम्. कुमुदा कण्णन् वर्य.
Yes, sir. So how does it become Disham, sir?
Dik Shabda goes that way, Bhagini.
Dishanam, no, sir.
Disha is another Shabda, Strilinga.
Shakaranta.
That is a Akaranta Disha Shabda.
Okay.
This is Dik Kite.
Shakaranta.
Dik, Disha. I don't know. Okay, sir. I'll look it up.
Dishiti Vavak, Bhagini.
No, it is dish, sir. Dish akarant, shakaranta.
दिश् इति
Shakarantas.
दिक् इति भवति वा ककारस्य आदेशः तत्र?
प्रथमस्ति दिक्।
सामान्यतया तत्र समस्ते प्रातिपदिकरूपं दृश्यते इति मया चिन्तितं, परन्तु किमपि चर्त्वं वा किमपि कृत्वा दिक् इति स्थापितं स्यात् तत्र, न जाने। अस्तु, पश्यामः। तो we can look up the table and analyze that from ashtadhyayi.com. We should be
I'll
able
do
to
that,
find
sir.
it.
I'll do that.
Thanks.
Pravesha book they have given.
Oh, okay. Padma Nagesh, before you somebody quoted Pravesha book. You lose today.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Pushpa Vrishtihi will be taken up by whom next did I call?
So you ask me.
Please go ahead, Varya.
Pushpanam vrishtihi. Shashti tatpurusha samana.
Pushpanam va nam va?
Ana.
Nam, natva will happen. We are going to learn natva in the 10th lesson, by the way. So, Pushpanam vrishtihi, Shashti tatpurusha. Thanks, Bhagini. Who else? I don't have any new names, so I have to recycle the existing names only. Okay. We will call Subramanya Kumar again. Yes.
Dashakanthanita. Dashakantani yasya saha dashakantah.
Very good. What type of samasa?
Bahuvrihi.
Dashakantaha. Dasha is Trilingaka, so keep it Dasha. Dashakantaha yasya saha dashakantaha. Then?
Vyadhikarana bahuvrihi. Dashakant.
Is it Vyadhikarana?
Dashakantha.
Samanadhikarana.
Samanadhikarana.
Because Dasha is also in Prathama, technically in that sentence. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Dashakanthena nita. Tritiya tatpurusha samasa.
Tritiya tatpurusha. Taken by Ravana. Who is Dashakanta Nita?
Ravana.
Sita. Sita Devi. Okay. Dashakantaha yasya saha dashakantaha Ravana. Samanadikarana bahuvrihi. But Mahodaya has done it accurately. Nice. So now Dashakantena Nita Tritiya tatpurusha. Sita iti bracket madhye.
Mahodaya, Dashakanta, can we again split it, Mahodaya, further? Dashakantaha.
That's what we did with Dashakantaha, no? What are you talking?
No, Dviguhu will not come, Mahodaya.
No. Because it's a Bahuvrihi. 10 throats of whomsoever he.
Okay.
There is no Dvigu.
Okay.
See, Kanta is the Anga, 10 of them. Okay, don't worry about Dvigu there because it's falling into Bahuvrihi territory. Okay, so 10 throats of whomsoever. Okay, so there is no Dvigu Bahuvrihi. There is only Samanadhikarana, Vedikarana like that. Okay. Next. Sudhir Chandramondal, Varya, you can try this. Raghunatha Dutaha.
Raghunatho Dutaha.
Dutaha, ekavachane.
Dutaha. Raghunathan Duto.
No. First, what you do, Sudhir Varya, you just tell me what you understand by that word.
Raghunam Natho.
That is very good. You got the first samasa correctly. Raghunam Nataha Raghunataha. So that we got it. Very good. Now, how do you combine Duta?
Raghunathasya Duto.
Very good. Raghunathasya Dutaha Raghunatha Dutaha. So both are Shashti Tatpurushas. Okay.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Now, there can be another possibility. Okay. You can do Raghunathasya Dutaha, but you can also do Raghunatha iti Dutaha, Sambhavana Purvapada Karmadharya. I mean, a Duta by the name Raghunatha, which is a possibility in the today's world, right? But in some story, it may be more like the some kind of representative of one of the kings of Raghuvamsha. So that's most likely is Raghunathasya Dutaha.
We cannot say, sir. Can we say Raghu iti Nataha?
Raghuhu iti Nataha Raghunataha. Yes, if it is Raghu himself out of the Raghu Vamsha.
Yes.
Not a problem. Yes, you can go with that also. Raghuhu iti natah Raghunatah.
Oh, but when you say,
Raghunatasya dutah artat Ragoho dutah.
Mahodaya, but when you say Natah, it has to be Natah of somebody.
No,
So,
Natha is a paryaya shabda for Raja, not a problem.
correct.
As
But,
a leader, you don't have to mention the subordinates for Natha shabda. So, I mean, Lokanatha has Loka mentioned, Jananatha has Jana mentioned, Raghunatha, like Bhagini said, simply has his name mentioned as a Natha. Obviously, Natha of Prajas, okay? Not of himself. So it is not Ragoho Natah. It is Raguhu iti Natah atva Raghunam. When we do Raghunam, what we are doing? Raghu Vamshe Udbhavanam Natah. That's what we are doing. Okay? Can you respond back that you understood, Jaivarya?
yes, I understood.
Thanks.
Mahodaya,
Suppose we have to take it as Bahuvrihi as Hanumanta. How do we do it? Can we take it as Bahuvrihi if it is Hanumant, if we mean Hanuman?
Oh, Raghunatha Dutaha. Yes.
So,
but Duta, you can't do Bahuvrihi. Duta is a full Angi. Duta, when you make Hanuman call him a Duta, his full entirety is the Duta there, not just his hands or anything. So you cannot do a Bahuvrihi, but it can represent Hanuman.
okay.
Do you see the subtle difference?
Yes,
Anga Angi
yes.
Bhava? Yeah,
Yes,
that's what
yes,
is important. Anga Angi Bhava. Just look at the last word to see it is an Anga or an Angi. Like Kantha, for example, was an Anga. So Dasha Kantaha was clearly Bahuvrihi. He cannot be just called Kantaha, but he can be called Dutaha here, Hanuman.
Yes.
That's how you go for it. Try to see if you can assign that last one to him directly. If you can, then it's not a Bahuvrihi.
Okay. And we cannot use it as an adjective to another.
You can. Raghunatha Dutaha Hanuman you can put, but that doesn't make Raghunatha Dutaha Bahuvrihi. It doesn't have to be a Bahuvrihi to become a Visheshana to Hanuman.
Okay.
Don't get that confusion. Bahuvrihi is simply because of Angi Anga Bhava. The Angi is somebody else. Anga is the Uttarapada.
Yes, Mahadev.
Okay.
Yes. Dhanyavad.
Uttarapada are one of the padas. There may be other Bahuvrihis where it comes differently. Anyway, Bhimaraja Putri will be taken up by... Oh, you only worry. You unmute again and answer this one.
Sir, I will.
Oh, sorry. Lakshmi Krishna. Sorry. How can I ignore you, Bhagini? Lakshmi Krishna.
Okay, sir. Bhima Raja Putri. Bhima iti Raja.
Very good. Bhimaha iti Raja. Put Visarga. Bhimaha iti Raja.
Sambhavana Purvapada
Karmadharaya. Well done.
Next one is Bhimarajasya Putri.
Well done.
That is Shashti Tatpurusha.
Shashti Tatpurusha. Good, Bhagini. You have learned well. Bhimaha iti Raja and Bhimarajasya Putri.
Yeah.
I think our student...
Sir, straight away Tasya Putri
You can. But at this level, no, just put the whole thing.
Bhima Rajasya Putri.
Yeah. So what Mallinatha and all do is, he will put Bhimaha iti Raja Kama Tasya Putri. They will do it. Vyakhyanakaras do like that. Okay? But we will be like nursery students. So we'll put everything.
Rajan Sabdasya Sashti Rajnya.
Very good question. So Bhagini is asking why Bhima Rajasya, why not Bhima Rajnya? Can somebody answer?
Yes, sir.
Nalopa happens.
No, when Raja Shabda. Rajan Shabda, Nakaranta Shabdasya Nalopaha Bhavati Samaste. Okay? So it becomes Akaranta Rajaha iti. I mean, na kevalam Rajaha iti na vaktavyam. Bhima Rajaha, Maharajaha iti Bhavati. Ramavat. Ramaha Ramo Ramaha Vat Bhimarajaha Bhimarajau Bhimarajaha. Tadartam Tatra Ramasya iti Rupam Svikritya Bhimarajasya ityeva likitavyam asmabhi. Okay. Good questions to have. So let us do some collective answering. Those who wish to participate can stay unmuted. You can Samyojya likata. I'm going to read the 2 columns. Okay. Then you first think, and then when I read the first word of first column, you say what is in the second column. Okay. So first column goes Amarakoshaha Niruktam Shabdakalpadrumaha Mritchakatikam T Ganapati Shastri. Oh, you said T. It would have been nice. You said Tirumalai or something like that. Anyway, the second column is Akaradi Kramayuktaha Pratamaha Koshaha Shringara Rasa Pradhanam Yaskah Bhasa Prakashakah Bhasa Chakram iti Trayodasha Natakanam Sangrahah Bhasasya Bhasa Prakashakah Namalinganu Shasanam ityadi asti. Amarakoshaha Namalinganuशासनम Niruktam
Yaskah.
Yaskasya Niruktam. Very good. Veda Nigantu Shabdakalpadrumaha
Akaradi Kramayuktah Pratamaha Koshaha.
Akaradi Kramayuktaha, but Akaranta Akarantadi Kramayuktaha is better to write that. Akarantadi Kramayuktaha is better clearly. That's what you remember it as. Okay. Mritchakatikam Shudrakaha, but that is not an option. Shringara Rasa Pradhanam. Difficult to remember, but I think we remember that it is between who are the 2 characters?
Vasanta Sena and
Vasanta Sena, correct. Who is the other party?
What
Charudatta Vasanta Sena. Okay. Ganapati Shastri, only remaining is Bhasa Nataka Prakashakaha. Okay, so that's done. 10th lesson, we start. Just give me a minute. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone can see the new presentation. Dashamaha Pataha.
Yes.
Thanks for you. Dashame Pate Suktihi Evam Vartate. Yoginah Karma Kurvanti Sangam Tyektvatma Shuddhaye. Yoginah Karma Kurvanti Sangam Tyektvatma Shuddhaye. Yoginah Karma. See, karma is not karmam or something in Dvitiya. Okay. So karma is karma only. So karma, karmani, karmani. Napumsaka shabda. So yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Atma shuddhihi iti samasta padam. Atma shuddhaye tadartham ityasmin arte chaturthi. Okay. So yoginah, those who are having this control over their senses and the larger aim of life in mind, that is yogi. Okay. Yogis, they do the activities. Okay. Sangam tyaktva. What is the sangha that they will give up? They will not associate themselves with the fruits of that activity. That is the sangatyaga. Okay. Sangam tyaktva yoginah karma kurvanti. They don't become lazy or saying that what is the purpose, there is no need for me to do anything, etc., because I already have seen my ultimate path, etc. No. So this beautiful saying, first half. Okay. And what is then the reason for them to do the duty is being explained a little bit by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Atma Shuddhaye, for purity of their internal soul. Okay, self purification. Okay, so they see every devoted action as something that helps them in purifying their Atma. Okay, that is their fruit, if at all, if you want to call that a fruit, not the fruit of the labor itself. The worldly fruit of the labor is not their aim. The Adhyatmika fruit is their aim. It's a very nice verse. So this comes in Bhagavad Gitayam Panchame Adhyaye Bhagavatah Uktihi Iyam Kayena Manasa Buddhya Kaivalairindriyairapi Kevalairindriyairapi Yoginah Karma Kurvanti Sangam Tyaktvatma Shuddhaye. So here actually more explanation is provided in the first half. Kayena, using their body. Manasa, using their mind. Buddhya, using their intelligence. Kevalaihi. Okay, Kevalair is there. Repa. Kevalaihi. Indriyaihi api. Okay, even with their indriyas alone. Okay, so this kevalaihi can be taken with indriya as the sangatyaga, or maybe indriyas as the similar to kayena, because body includes all the karmendriyas. Maybe jnanendriyas have to be applied for sangatyaga and karmendriyas for the kaya, for the karma. That's how maybe we will see how the Vyakhyanakaras explain this. This part is clear to us. Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. So 5th chapter, 11th verse. So kayena, dehena, manasa, chittena, buddhya, matina. I mean thinking part of the head. Kevalaihi. Mama, this is a very deep concept, you see. This is like Shankaracharya, guys. Shankara Bhashyam. So Shankara Bhashyam goes like this for Kevalaihi. Mamatva varjitaihi ishwarayaiva karma karomi na mama phalaya iti mamatva buddhish shunyaihi iti manye. Some mistake is there in my tankana. Mamatva buddhi shunyaihi. So, Shankara Bhagavan explains, Shankara Bhagavad Pada explains this Kevala Shabda in a very detailed way. Okay, as rejection of the self and Ishvara Pranidhana concept that is known in Yoga Shastra. That means whatever I do is for the feet of the Lord. Okay, so that's what he is explaining without any selfishness. Beautiful. Okay.
Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu.
Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. So that's why that Kaivalya Shabda is very important in this Vedanta. Okay, Indriyaihi api Kevala Shabdaha Kayadibirapi Pratyekam Sambadhyate Sarva Vyapareshu Mamata Varjanaya. So this Indriyaihi has been established in the shloka to further enhance this Kevala Shabda is what, and Kaya Shabda, like we kind of imagined also, little bit of relation to Indriya and Kaya. So Shankara Bhagavan also thinks like that. Very nice. Okay. See, we can access, I mean, I have put in brackets and non-brackets what is there in the shloka and what he has added. Okay, but everything is said by him. Okay. So, yoginaha, karminaha, see, he simply calls them as those who do work. Karma kurvanti, sangam tyaktva, phalavishayam vina, atma shuddhaye, sattva shuddhaye ityartaha. So, he calls atma as sattva, as the essence of the life. Tasmat tatraiva tava adhikaraha iti kuru karmaiva. So, he further adds one more directive because it's there in another shloka, no? So that's what he's bringing here. Tasmat tatraiva tava adhikaraha asti. What is that famous verse? Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So that line has been brought in by Shankara also. Beautiful. Karma yogis who are devoted to the path of action, free from ego and selfishness, work for the purification of their hearts, souls, without the least attachment to the results of their actions. They dedicate all actions to the Lord as offerings. Kevalam applies to the body, mind, and intellect and the senses. Okay, the Kevala Bhava. Okay, a nice small booklet with beautiful pictures and Bhagavad Gita. I think more beauty will be in reading it. Okay, so that is that. So we jump into the first lesson of 10th lesson. First sub-lesson of 10th lesson. Again, little bit more about samasas. Okay, so if you can see, they focused the first 5-6 lessons on teaching some particular samasa varieties after initially talking about the varieties. Now they are talking about how to analyze it, how to look at a samasa word and how to go about it, and techniques for us. This is also very useful. Just knowing what samasa is, what is less important than knowing how to use them in shlokas. That's why these sections have been very useful. In the previous lessons, we learnt about different types of compounds and how they are dissolved and how words in a sentence can be combined to form compounds. Let us note of the changes that take place when certain words are compounded and know some more rules connected with samasa. Okay. They're going a little deeper. So in the first one, today only just a few minutes back, we had this. Okay, that's explained here. Okay, when the words Rajan and Saki are compounded to form Tatpurusha, so looks like specific to Rajan and Sakin. I thought any Nakaranta. So there is a very specific sutra, very narrow sutra. Rajan and Saki, which means Sakin, okay, are compounded to form. I don't know why they should have kept it Sakin here. Okay. They end in a short a. Oh, maybe Sakhi becomes Sakha. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. Uttarapadeshu nakarantasya akarantaha ikarantasya akarantaha. So Sakhi becomes Sakha, Rajan becomes Raja. It's not Sakin Shabda. It's a different one. Okay. Sarvatra na. I mean, don't do nalopa and e to a everywhere. Okay. Devanam Raja, Devarajaha, Krishnasya Sakha, Krishna Sakha. So, okay. Sakin only it is. Then it becomes, because Sakhi, is it Ikaranta Sakhi Shabda which becomes Saka? Now I am also confused. Okay, Sakhi, Pumsi, Sakha, Sakhayo, Sakaya, correct? It is Ikaranta Sakhi Shabda in Pullinga, which has the Rupa in Prathama as Sakha, Sakhayo, Sakaya. Raja we know, Raja, Rajano, Rajana. Okay, interesting. So it is not Sakhin like I thought. It is just Sakhi, Ikaranta Pullinga Shabda. But it's not like Hari Shabda. It is something else literally. Anyway, so that's the number one rule. Okay. Number two, not rule, number one bullet about the matters. There will be a lot more, but 7-8 bullets are put by Samskrit Bharati. When two words are compounded to form a dvandva, the word with less number of vowels will be placed first in the compound. Okay. There are more rules than this, but let us take this. Okay, so Shivascha Keshavascha Shiva Keshava. So we take the shorter one and then the longer one, like that they have explained. That is one rule, but sometimes there is also another rule here. The important one will be chosen sometimes, not based on length also. Okay, so that is also there. Okay, we'll not go further into that. Just take this much for now. You know that the Purvapada in a compound is in its Pratipadika form. Yeah, we know Vibhakti Pratyaya has been removed from it. If that Pratipadika is Nakaranta, its final Nakara will disappear in the Samasa. So this is for Purvapada. See, there with Rajan as a Uttarapada, right? Maharajaha. Here Purvapada Nakaranta rule. So this is little more generic. Okay, interesting. So if you know that say Rajaputraha, for example, we have seen that also. Rajaputraha. Rajan plus Putraha, Rajaputraha. Nalopa there. Okay. If you know that the Purvapada in a compound is in its Pratipadika form, if that Pratipadika is a Nakaranta, its final Nakara will disappear in the Samasa. This rule applies to all Samasas. Generic rule, very broad. That's very narrow, but it's very broad here. Guninaha seva. Gunin iti pratipadikam. So gunin iti. The guni seva. Na is taken out. Guni seva. Like that. Okay. Guni, guninao, guninaha iti pratama vibhakti rupani. Guninaha is the Shashtyanta form of Gunin Shabda. Okay. We know that Shashti and Pratama Bahuvachana and all look similar there. That we know. Over time we have seen that. But here, the seva of good people, of qualified people who deserve. I mean, good people. Okay, let's simply call it good people. So, Guninaha is the Shashtyanta form of Gunin Shabda. It's a Shashti Tatpurusha, but finally the Gunin Pratipadika loses the Nakara. Nakara disappears and only Guni remains. Other examples, Karinaha Shunda, Kari Shunda, Karin iti. this is actually Karin is a elephant. Okay, Kari, Karinau, Karinaha. It's a type of elephant. I have also forgotten what specific quality of the elephant makes it a Kari, but anyway. Okay. This is the kind of explanatory sentence to remember. Nakarantasya purva pratipadikasya nalopaha sarvatra prayah yatatra likitamasti. Karinah shunda karishunda shastri varyah shastrinniti. Shastri shastrinau shastrinah shastrinniti. So shastri varyah it will become. Shastrin will lose the na, so shastri varyah. Okay. Here, why it is Shastri plus Varyaha? This is in the this thing, Samanadikarana Karmadaraya. Basically, Upama Purvapada Karmadaraya, not Upama actually, Visheshana Purvapada Karmadaraya, like that. Okay, so that kind of thing. That's why it's in Pratama Ekavachana, but its Pratipadika is Shastrin and Nalopa, so Shastri plus Varyaha, Shastri Varyaha. That's the process. Okay, Dhana Patinaha Ghana, Dhana Pati, Ghana Patinaha Griham. You remember Ghanapata was discussed some time back. Basically, it's a type of Veda recital technique, which has heavy word movement forward and backward, etc. So, Ganapatin iti nakaranta pratipadika tatra. So, Shashti Ekavachana is Ganapatinaha Griham. So, the house of a guy who does such kind of Ganapatha. So, Ganapati Griham, Patin becomes Pati. Okay, all right. Question is, see, that's why now it is very clear. One more thing is very clear to us. Beautiful. This Ganapatin itself is a Samastapada. Remember, Ghanam Patati iti Ghanapati, something, some Vyutpati is there for that. Okay, but it retains it Nakarantatva. It continues to be a Patin Shabda like Ganapatin Shabda. Not like Maharajan Shabda, it doesn't happen there. Like Maharaja happens. So that's specific to Rajan there. So here it's not happening that way. Anyway, so yeah, somebody had a question, was trying to say something.
Yes, sir. Shastri Varyaha. Now, if you take Shastri as a surname, how would the Samasa go?
See, if you want to stick to Sanskrit principle, if he is called Shastri, that is a Pratama Ekavachana form, then it is Shastri Varyaha. If you are sticking to it as a Sanya and don't want to change it according to Sanskrit rules, that means you freeze it as Shastri. Okay, then it is Shastri Varyaha, and Shastri is like a invariant Sanya.
So the Samasa would be what?
Shastri iti Varyaha. I mean, don't worry about its.
No, there's a question. That's why I asked you this.
Yeah. But you can do. I don't think he will notice too. Nowadays in Indian languages, they hardly look whether you're doing Dirgha, Rusva, nothing. So you can call him Shastri Varyaha and he won't notice. Okay. Gunanuragi plus Janaha. So again, see, Guna Anuragi. Anuragin Shabdaha. Okay. Guneshu Anuragi. Okay. Already it has taken the Angi Bhava. So Anuraga Hayasya Saha no. Anuraga Hayasya Saha Anuragi has happened through some Tadita process. Okay. So we cannot bring it into Samasa. Now in Samasa is between Guna and Anuraga. If you wanted to do Guneshu Anuragi, Gunanuragi. There is no explanation for that. That I have put here. Guneshu Anuragi, Gunanuragin, Pratama Ekavachane, Gunanuragi. Atra nalopaha nasti, kimartam, tatra rajanniti nasti, tatkarana. Raginniti asti, tatkarana. Ghanapatin ityatrapi tathaiva iti suchana, yatha asmabhihi patitam, purvamapi. Atrapi tatha. Astu. Punah atra agamishyamah. Atra janaha iti asti kila, tena sakam. Gunanuragi Janaha, Gunanuragin plus Janaha, Nalopa, Gunanuragi Janaha, Hrisva Ikara Janaha. Just like Shastri Varyaha, Ganapati Griham, Ragi Janaha, Anuragi Janaha. Okay.
What is the meaning of Guna Anuragi, sir? One who
is interested in good qualities. One who loves good qualities.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Who is
Correct.
not?
Okay, sir.
Some are not. Okay. Samahara, aggregate. Beautiful word in English for samahara. So samahara dvandva and dvigu compounds are in neuter. That means in neutral gender. So samahara dvandva and dvigu compounds are in neutral gender. Okay. Pani cha padau cha etesham samaharaha pani padam. Nothing new here. They are reminding us about that napumsakatva. Okay. Not avyayatva, remember. Napumsakatva. Different from avyayatva. Sometimes we confuse napumsakatva with avyaya. No. Avyaya is a different concept. Napumsakatva is a gender. It's a third gender. Okay. Panchanam gavam samaharaha panchagavam dviguhu. Okay. This we know from long time back. So this one is dvandva, samahara dvandva. This one is dvigu samasa. Yes, Varya? Somebody had a question? Okay, I'll
Means
mute
5 cows. Is it,
yeah,
Mahodaya?
set of 5 cows.
5 cows?
Not just 5 cows. You should call it set of 5 cows. It's an aggregate.
Set of 5 cows.
Singular.
But
singular.
Panchagavyam is different. Panchagavyam is
Gavyam itself is different. Now, gavyam is that from the cow. So, Panchagavyam is probably again an aggregate, but from Gavya, not from from Gavam Samahara.
Okay. Yes.
So, that is Panchanam Gavyanam Samaharaha Panchagavyam. Okay?
Yes, sir.
What is Gavya? Gavya is that produce of the cow. So that is, ghee, milk, etc., etc., including the mutra and ajya.
Gomayam, Gomutram.
Gomayam, Gomutram also including.
Mutram, Kshiram. Yes, sir. Dadi and ghee.
Okay, we have knowledge of that, so we'll leave it alone. Everybody won't appreciate and understand all that. So both in Dvandva and Tatpurusha, the compound word will have the same gender as that of the second or latter word. Okay, this is very important. Both in Dvandva and Tatpurusha. So the compound word will have the same gender as that of the second word. So suppose Sita Rama. Sita Rama Shabda will be a Pullinga Shabda. Rama Sita, that will be a Strilinga Shabda. That's what they are talking about here. Okay. And Tatpurusha is also similarly Uttarapada dependent. Okay. In Linga. Latacha vrikshascha lata vrikshau in masculine dvivachana. Vrikshascha latacha vriksha late. So if you're confused why lata is coming with vriksha, lata here is referring to what? A climber, not the girl by the name Lata. A climber and a tree. See, they have a pairing, na? Just like Sita and Rama can have a pairing. Why not the climber and its tree which it climbs? It's a nice duality. Okay. So if you reverse it, Vrikshascha Latacha Vriksha Late, like Rama Sita, like that it will be. Normally we do Sita Rama, but you can do the other way. Ardham Pippalyaha, Ardha Pippali. What kind of samasa is this? Prathama Tatpurusha. Thank you. Okay. You have almost forgotten. The whole class is silent. Ardham Pippalyaha, Ardha Pippali, feminine gender. Okay. It's a one. Prathama Tatpurusha has a Shashti in this Uttarapada. This is a strange one. So half of a Pippali. Pippali is a type of a seed or something. Okay.
One question, please. One question, please. Sir, if it was Lata cha Bhikshocha, then who is
Lata Vrikshau.
Lata.
Like here, first example. Lata cha Vrikshascha Lata Vrikshau. Pullinga. Vrikshascha Lata cha Vriksha Late Strilinga Dvivachana. Both are in Dvivachana.
Okay.
This is Ekavachana. This is Prathama Tatpurusha. Those two are examples of Dvandva. This is an example of a Tatpurusha. Okay.
Okay.
Avyayi Bhava compound will always be an indeclinable. So the name itself is Avyayi Bhava. bhava. So it generates an avyaya. So shaktim anatikramya yatha shakti. That's a hrasvatva is due to avyayatva also there a little bit. Okay. Hmm. So shakti in strilinga has shakti, shakti, shaktayah, etc. That form. But in napumsaka it is just in avyaya it is just terminating as a hrasva ikaranta like that. Yatha shakti. We don't talk of an ikaranta and all because it's an avyaya, finished. Doesn't matter. Its tail end doesn't matter anymore. But during formation it is that shakti.
Sir,
Okay.
one question, please.
Huh.
Sir, indeclinable means, sir, indeclinable means?
Indeclinables means avyaya.
Okay.
Like shabdas like cha, iti, these are all indeclinables. That is like cha doesn't have chaha chau che. I'm sorry to say that. So it doesn't have the chaha chau chaha, no? That it has just cha, like sa. Okay.
Okay.
Bahuvrihi compound, the compound will get the gender of the third word whose sense is predominant. This is also important. So this lot about gender they are talking now. Earlier they spoke about some priority order and some low pass and avyayatva, etc. Now they are talking of gender things. So in Bahuvrihi compound, the compound will get the gender of the third word whose sense. Third word means the other word. Actually, third word is not the correct thing. Apara pada. Okay, sense is important. So, nashtam pustakam yasya saha nashta pustakaha. Nashtam pustakam yasyaha sa nashta pustaka. Okay. And then nashtam pustakam yasya tat nashta pustakam. It only will become because mitram or somebody is referred. Okay. Nashta pustakam mitram ahuya. Tam nutanam pustakam dadmaha. Like that. Some sentence we can imagine. Ahvaya, ahuyana. Ahvaya is the lot lakara form. So now Samskrita Bharati in the textbook only has put, please, we have taught very little. Compounds are briefly explained in Kovida lessons. For more information, you may refer to Samasaha, a booklet published by Samskrita Bharati. This booklet contains a detailed exposition of compounds in Sanskrit. It's a hard nut to crack. One of the Mahadayas has already mentioned he bought the book and couldn't make A to Z of I think after a while you will I think now that when you finish Kovida you will open the book, you will start making sense out of it. So you can buy it here or you can online also you can purchase it. It's just for 30, 40, 50 bucks and more. 50 cents, 40 cents, I don't know what's in dollars. Okay, so that's that. So let us start our Natva process, right? We don't have the luxury of saying, let's meet again so easily. So I'm going to torture you some more. But finally, looks like I have okay, Anne Varye is laughing and saying, I know about Gomutra, Navanitam, etc. from Sura Saraswati classes. No worry. No, I was not thinking about you, Varye. I was having no doubt you know about our culture. I was having doubt about others in this group, including myself. Okay, don't worry. Vishesha Vishaya Natvam. Observe the two words Ramena and Balena. Both these words end in Tritiya Vibhakti. But there is a difference between the two forms. Ramena, na has changed to na. While in Balena, it has not. When does the na change to na? That is tata da da na change to tata da da na. Where does natva not take place? To understand this, you must know the following rules in connection with natva. Again, Samskrita Bharati is focused on the important rules, the 95%, what we call. So in Samskrita rules, there is always, sadharana and vishesha. So Samskrita Bharati focuses on the sadharana because at this level, 95% is a lot of coverage for us. Okay. So that's what they are focusing on. Samanya Vishesha. I should not have sadharana. Samanya Vishesha. Okay. So nimittam. Nimittam means a cause or a reason for thing to happen. It's called a nimitta. Nimittam cha pashyami Arjuna, something like that. Even say, Nimittam cha pashyami iti Arjuna vadati Krishnam. So I see some.
Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi.
Okay.
Karanam.
Karanam is nimittam. Correct. Where there is light, there is either the sun or a lamp. Okay, the sun or the lamp is the nimittam, cause of the light. Similarly, for natvam to occur, there has to be one of the letters repaha, the letter ra, shakaraha, or rikaraha. One of the is, that's why and is used. One of the means and, list has to be with the and. So one of the letters repa, shakara, and rikara. So, all right. So, repha, we don't say rakara. That's why we don't use rakara in Sanskrit. We use the word repha only for ra. Okay? R, actually. Repha for r. For sh, we use shakara, and for r, we use rikara, not rakara. Rikara. That's why it's in between. That's why rikara is wrong, rukara is wrong, rikara is correct. Rikara, like a diagonal. Okay? Pronunciation. So these letters are the nimittam for natvam. Okay. So r, sh, r. Okay. Repa, sh, r. In order to not confuse the pronunciation of this with this, repa is used for that. Okay. So for example, in the Shabda Kirnaha, repa is there. It is there, the hook above. Okay. And then in the word Krishnaha, sh is there. Shatkona sh. So Krishnaha, and then that is Shakara. Then Pitrunam, R is there, which generates the Ana. So everywhere you see Kirna has a Ana, Krishna has a Ana, Pitrunam has a Ana. So Ana is there, but Na is the essential Vyanjana from that. Okay, N is there in all three. They all came from N is being told by Samskrita Bharati. Due to the Repa's presence, they turned to Ana. Why this Natva? You may ask, what is this? Why they are torturing us with all these transformations? It is the natural way your mouth would pronounce anyway. Okay? So it is, they have observed, the Vaiyakaranis have observed that in order to flow into the na from certain letters, it is not accurate because it's torturous. So they found that na is naturally emerging post of the mouth being present to pronounce that repa or whatever, shakara, etc. So because the repa, shakara engages our mouth in a certain contortion, that engagement of the mouth in that shape will lead to na later in a more convenient fashion, is the idea. But the amazing thing is, this na can happen quite far from the shakara, repa, rukara. That's another interesting. So you will see that next. Okay. Intervention of other letters between nimittam and na. So first we talked of nimittam. Now we are talk of in madhyantaraha. Okay, those that are in the middle, something like that. Madhye sthitaha, something like that. So intervention of other letters between nimittam and na. So for example, you take Kirnaha, Repa is there, Nakara is immediately there. Krishnaha, Shakara is there, Nakara is immediately there. Pitrunam, R is there, Na is immediately there. So these three examples, interestingly, don't have any intervention. Samskrita Bharati, that's why carefully picks the example. Because they have only taught the nimittam. So they don't want to introduce other letters now at this level. Now they talk of other examples with the intervention. So intervention of other letters between nimittam and na. In the above examples, nakara is found right after nimittam. That's what they explained now, just what we read. Between these two letters, there is no intervention of any other letter, and hence na is replaced. Actually, they use akara here. You should read this as n is replaced with n. Okay? But in the example Ramena, between the letter R or Repa, okay, and which is the Nimitta, and the Nakara, which is all the way here, there are three intervening letters. R, A, M, A, N, A. A is after N, A, sorry. So that you can ignore the last A, but definitely A, M, A are in between. So that's what? A, M, A are in between. And still Natvam has taken place. How? That's what they're explaining next. Okay. So it must be understood that even when there is the intervention of certain letters between the nimitta and the na or nakara, natvam does occur. That means the n changes to n. Why? Such letters are known as avyavadhayaka varnaha. Vyavadhayaka means that which produces a bother, that which disturbs the flow. Vyavadhayaka means a kind of a stop, somebody who stops. Okay. Avyavadayaka is somebody who doesn't stop. Okay, that means they don't stop the influence of the nimitta upon the nakara, even though they are in between. So this a, m and a clearly belong to avyavadayaka set. That's what they're explaining here. Okay, though it is a long definition, you can understand the engineering of that word. Okay, so those letters that impede the change of na to na, those that do block, impede means to do block. Okay, those that do block are called vyavadhayaka, and those that don't block are na vyavadayaka or avyavadayaka. Naitat purusha is there. Okay, so that's what is. Those that do not come in the way of the change are called avyavadayaka and varnaha. Okay, avyavadayakaha athva avyavadayaka varnaha. Avyavadayakaha. See, they have used the native form. All the vowels. So hrasva and dirgha. Vowels, all of them are not non-blockers. So in our software world, we use the word blocker, non-blocker like that. Especially hardware guys, in our software, we use blocker, non-blocker very commonly. Okay. So this all the vowels are non-blocking. Okay. So hrasva, dirgha and ha, ya, va. Okay, hayava. Actually, these are all called at varnas. Okay. In the Maheshwara Sutra, you remember all the swaras and vyanjanas are listed in a particular order and converted into 14 sutras. A, I, un, rul, ruk, e, ong, hayavarat, like that. So at is a to that last hayavar. So hayavarat has repa also, right? Hayavarat. But repa, no need to mention again, because if the repa is an intervening letter, it is a new nimitta. Don't worry about the previous nimitta. A new nimitta has started, so you don't need to count it really. That's why they have not counted repa again. It will become ridiculous. How can a nimitta itself be called an avyavadayaka? It is an avyavadayaka because it is the cause itself. Okay. All right. So hayava, they have gone up to that. So this is at set. Ach plus hat. At set. Okay. This is the Maheshwara Sutra sets. Okay. I hope you remember the Maheshwara Sutras we discussed a little bit in the very beginning.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So further, two more sets are included in the non-blockers. Avyavadayaka, non-blockers. Kavarga and Pavarga. Very easy to remember. So actually how we remember from grammar rules is at kuppu, kupu. This is remembered as ku and this is remembered as pu. So at pu pu is how we remember this in actually the Sutra of Panini has that at kuppunum, something like that. We will see that a little bit. Not that we want to waste our time too much at that level, but it will be interesting anyway. So the kavarga and the paruga letters, this means ka, kha, ga, ga, nga, and then pa, pa, bha, ba, ma. They are also non-blockers. So makara here was in the pavarga. So it's a pu varna. Okay. A and A are at varnas. M is pu varna. I mean, to use this pu varna. Okay. So those three are non-blockers. That's why Ramena, not Ramena. Okay. A, I, U, R, A, I, O, O. And here, of course, when they say A, I, U, R, it is I, U, R. Remember. And the dirgha of the first four. Okay, they said it here. Okay. Hayava and ka, kha, ga, ga, pa, ba, ba, ma. All this. All, of course, read all of this without the akara. Okay, just for representation, we put them in symbols with akara, but the actual one we are talking about is just the vyanjana, h, y, v, k, k, like that. Okay, of course, if there is an akara, that is a non-blocker also, but it can be present as hey, he, how. How do we know it is ha? It is necessarily not ha, maybe. Okay, if there is a letter other than this, that means if you eliminate this at varna, pu varna, and pu varna, all the other varnas, that means other vargiya vyanjanas and avargiya vyanjanas, which are not hayava, and ra, of course, repa also we should include because it's a nimitta, they will be a blocker. But shakara is again a nimitta. Shakara is again a nimitta. So, r here is been told a little bit with a pinch of salt actually. It's also been called as nimitta, but it is listed under avyavadayaka. Anyway, let us see that. Okay. Anyway, so okay, if there is a letter other than this, the intervening, the nimitta and the nakara, natva does not take place. This is again, these rules are at the first level. 3 rules we have seen now. Okay. What is the 3 rules? That there has to be a nimitta and an influenced nakara in the word later. That the intervening letter should not be a blocker. Okay. And they are now talking about the blockers a little bit specifically. Okay. So Rahuna, with an example, they may be trying to talk. In Rahuna, Repa, Akara, Hakara, Ukara, Nakara. Akara, Hakara, Ukara all belong to this non-blocking set we already studied. Okay. So Natva happens. Okay. Are not Vyavadhayaka, and hence Natvam has taken place. That means they are Avyavadhayakas. So Maharajena, here, okay, Repa cannot reach the Nakara because Ja is not a cover governor, not a power governor. So it is a blocker. So it's a Chavarga letters. It's a Chu letter. Okay. There is a Jakara which is a Vyavadhayaka between Repa and N. Hence there is no Natvam. Okay, all right. So that is the rules they have taught. Okay. So now, before we, of course, I don't want to tire you with what I'm showing, which is extra. Again, Samskrita Bharati has a beautiful booklet by our Guru Varya called Janardana Hegde Varya, one of the founders of Samskrita Bharati. He is called Samskrita Pitamaha in Samskrita Bharati. Natva Nijatvam. So he explains 2 Nijantam. Sorry. Nijantam is, we know that already, Nijantas. Okay. So Natva is, and somehow he has taken Nijanta explanation and Natva explanation in a booklet. 2 concepts. Okay. So it's another nice booklet to have for more detailed reference of all the rules with lots of examples. Okay. Not just the what you call 95% set that Kovida explains. But Kovida is doing well. Just explains few sutras. I have a few more listed here very quickly. I don't want to tire you. So there is this concept. See, sutras of Panini goes like this. Rashabhyam Nonaha Samanapade. In fact, some of them will not be always there. They are borrowed from earlier verses, etc. Earlier sutras, etc. But anyway, the final thing is Rashabhyam Nonaha Samanapade. Okay. Akkupwang Num Vyavayepi. Okay, this is the intervening letter. That Avyavadhayaka's explanation is in this sutra. Can you identify anything from this? No. So that's why Panini first teaches how to interpret his sutras through Maheshwara sutras and then goes into his Shastra. Okay, so At is all the swaras and the Hayavara. And then Ku is Kakagaganga. Pu, which has become Pwa here due to a Sandhi. Pu is actually Papa Babama. And then there is Ang and Num, which are some more specific rules that our Samskrita Bharati has not touched upon. Okay. And Vyavaye means Vyavadhayake. I mean, he has made a shorter version, Vyavaye api, even in the presence of these intervening letters also. That's all he says. See how his sutra is. Okay. Then pratipadikanthanum vibhaktishu cha something he keeps going. I mean, then there is also nisheda. So a lot of nisheda rules have not been spoken by Samskrita Bharati. So there are nisheda rules like na padantasya, na babu pavidyam, na nasheshantasya, na va nimsa nikshitnindam. Very, very narrow rules. Okay, very narrow rules. Na padantasya is a broad rule. In fact, they should have talked about na padantasya in the book. Maybe later they will talk about it. So, for example, Raman doesn't have n. You have seen Rama Shabda. Ramena Ramabhyam Ramaihi. Ramat Ramabhyam Ramebhyah. Or Ramasya Ramah Ramau Rama Ramam Ramau Raman. Dvitiya Bahuvachane kila. Why in this na is not changing to na? All the other intervening letters are just like Ramena.
Last varna.
Here, because of na padantasya rule that is there in the Paninian Shastra, that should have been talked about by Samskrita Bharati in the first opening slides itself, but that's okay. We will, you forget these three, very narrow, but this you remember, na padantasya. So, Harin, Trin, Raman, these things will not have anatva. So, padante, asamaste padante stitasya nakarasya anatvam na bhavati. Something, there are further rules there. Leave it. So, some examples. Okay, what is this? Some highlights are coming, some highlights are not there. Anyway, we'll forget about that. Like, here are some more examples. Vitranatvam, Kshatriyanam. So they are teaching us how to identify. See, this three has a repa. Repa and then ikara. So after the repa, ikara, yakara, akara is there before nakara. Okay, so E, U are the intervening letters. I hope you identify this. Kshatri, this ksha has a sha. If you remember, ksha. But there is a repa later. So that becomes a new nimitta. Okay. That's why the Tavarga letter may end up blocking the Shakara's influence. But there is a repa following the Takara. That repa introduces a new nimitta, followed by Ikara, Yakara, Akara, and then the Nakara. The Nakara is the target. So the Vyavadhayakas are I, A. Same way, Brahmana. Repa is there after Bakara. Repa. Hakara is there, Makara is there, Akara is there before. So so the Bra also has a A. I forgot that. A, H, M, A. So we should split it like in Pravesha. They taught us how to split this into individual letters and then look at the intervening. Okay. So we should write this mentally as B, R, A, H, M, A, N, A, H, like that. And then look at the analysis. You can write it as aha. Okay. All right. Rupyakani. U, repa is there. U is there. P is there. Ya is there. Ka is there. A is there. Nakara comes here and then E, which is after the nakara. But U is not a blocker. P is it a blocker is the question. It is a pavarga. It's a pu letter. So definitely it's not a blocker. So yakara is not a blocker. Akara not a blocker. Kakara not a blocker because it's part of ku varga. Then a it's not a blocker. So this na is changed to na. How many intervening letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See the number of non-blocking letters before we got to the influence of this repa to reach that nakara. So it's very deep rule. Okay. Grihani. So this is now r. The nimitta here is r. Rikaraha. See, that's what nimittam is. Rikaraha. And then h, a, and then n. Two intervene. Ha belongs to the at set. So it's passing. No block. A is clearly no block. Vrishabhanam shakarasya prabhavah. Rikaraha api asti, shakaraha api asti. But rikara is superseded by shakaras nimitta because it is later closer to the nakara. So sh, a, b, a, n. So a, b, a, b, a. These are the avyavadhayaka varna. Like this analysis. Okay, and without natva, you have to find out vyavadayaka varna. So first you write the varna in between, I mean madhyastha varna like that. Then vyavadayaka varnas is picked out of them. So marichena. So repa e chakara. Chakara is the vyavadayaka blocker. A is not a blocker. E and A are non-blockers. Cha is a blocker. Okay, so you list it. And of course, nimitta. So you should know nimitta, madhyastha varnaha, avyavadayakaha, vyavadayakaha, atva vyavadayakaha. I mean, sometimes there may be plurality of vyavadayakas also. Okay, like this it goes. Rashmina, Karyadarshina, Vartalapena, Drishyamanam. You guys slowly analyze this. No need for me to, nursery feed everything. You guys also should do that analysis. Okay. So there are some exercises. Very quickly we will do this slide and conclude today's class. Okay. So adho nirdishtani vigrahavakyani. I will do crowdsourcing. So stay unmuted, those who wish to participate. Okay. Adho nirdishtani vigrahavakyani avalambya samastapadani likata. Using the vigrahavakyas, very easy exercise. Already they have given. You have to write the samastapada, but I will ask you also to write the name of the samastapada just to increase your exercise. Devarayah iti raja.
देवराय राजा संभावना पूर्वक
Fail. Subramanya Varya 0. Tell again. Devaraya Raja. You continue to say Raja.
Devaraya
That's where you fell into the pit. Just what we learned.
Yes.
So, but what kind of samasa it is?
Sambhavana
Purva. So, the king by the name Devaraya. Rajan becomes Raja is very important. Half marks is for that. Okay. Actually, here probably full marks is for that. Okay. Gananam Raja. Ganaraja. Everyone has woken up. Shashti Tatpurusha. Ayodhyayaha Raja. Ayodhya Raja. Very weird, but that's what it is. Okay. Ayodhya Raja. Shashti Tatpurusha again. Shastrinaha Griham.
Shastri Griham.
Hrasva. Shastri Griham. Shastrin plus Griham. Shastri Griham. Okay. Shashti Tatpurusha. Shastrin becomes Shastri. I have added that part also here. Okay. Sharma plus Varya.
Sharma Varya.
Well done. Sharman is a Sharma Varya. Okay. Sharman becomes Sharma. Okay. Sambhavana Purvapada. Similar to Devaraja. Okay. Devaraya Raja. Raya is already king, so it's a little confusing, no? Devaraya Raja. Okay, anyway. Phalam cha pushpam cha.
Phalam
pushpe va? Phala pushpe. Iteretara dvandva. Okay. Here, basically, we have to retain the napumsakatva. That's what is important. Phala pushpe. Okay. Anyway, both are napumsaka. Iteretara dvandva, dvivachanam napumsake. Shakha cha upashakha cha. Very good. Guna happens. So, shakhopashakha. Shakhopashakha. What is the dvivachana? Shakhe. Very good. Shakhopashakhe is the answer. Okay. You will lose half a marks if you don't do that. Okay. Some people may give 0 also. So, iteretara dvandvaha. Govindasya sakha. Govinda Sakha. Full marks. People have become fully awake. Govinda Sakha. Sakhin Shabda becomes Sakha. Okay. Sakha, Sakhano, Sakhanaha, something like that we had seen. Okay. Uttamaha Sakha. Uttama Sakha. Visheshana Purvapada. So Govinda Pusaka was Shashti Govindasya Saka, or it could be Govindaha iti Sakha also possible. What you call Sambhavana Purvapada. But Shashti Tatpurusha most likely. You can answer both ways as long as you name it correctly. What is important is the form, final form. That is where the marks is.
Yes.
Because we are talking about the final form in this lesson. Mukham cha nasika cha anayoho samaharaha.
Mukanasikam.
Mukanasikam. What gender it is?
Samahara. No.
No, it'll end
Samahara.
with
Napumsakalinga.
becoming Napumsakalinga.
Napumsaka.
First of all, it is not a dvigu. Okay, some
Not a
people said dvigu. It is not a dvigu. It is itaretara. Okay.
No, Samahara.
But it is not itaretara because it is a single answer. So it becomes samahara dvandva. And what is the linga of the final word?
Napumsakalinga.
Thank you. That's all I was looking for. Mukha nasikam. See, it is not avyaya. Remember, only avyayi bhava generates avyaya. Okay, mukha nasikam is a napumsaka word. Samahara dvandva napumsake ekavachane cha. Yadyapi vastudvayam staha parantu tatra ahatya ekatvam. Very good. So some more. Now we know why the highlights were sitting around. Okay. So adho nirdishteshu padeshu natvasya kim nimittam purvatana varnascha kaha iti likata. So nimittam purvatana varna. Okay. Just I don't know why they have asked about purvatana varna. Just for you to exercise. Okay. For your mental exercise they have asked. Nobody needs the Purvatana Varna in any Natva process, but they have asked so that we know how to break these letters. So, Kshatriyena, Repa with Purvatana letter is Takara. See, many people don't see this. Remember the order here. Takara, Repa, and then Ikara. Three. Just when you pronounce it, how it happens. T-R-I. So, Takara, Repa, Ikara. Okay. If you test your mouth, you know the answer. Okay. Vishnuhu nimittam.
Shakara nimittam.
Ikara.
Purva varnaha ikaraha. Don't write V. Okay. V is a compound. It's a samyuktakshara. Sorry, it is a gunitaakshara. So just write E. Single element atom is E. Okay. Ikaraha. Okay. Shakaraha, ikaraha. Namaskarena. What is the nimitta? Repaha. Here. Very good. Answer is A. Here it is not avyavadayaka letter being asked. The question is Purvatana Varna. Though it is not required, but for you to know their teaching. Why this abhyasa? So that you know how this is broken up, if you have forgotten. So Repaha, Akaraha. So Mushnati. Shakaraha. Ukaraha. Very good. Ukaraha. Shakaraha. Ukaraha. Guruna.
What is Mushnati, sir? What is Mushnati?
Excuses or something like that. I forgets or excuses, something like that. I've forgotten also beginning. Maya Mushnitam. Guruna.
Okay, sir.
Repaha.
Ukaraha. Not this ukara, that gu ityasya ukaraha. Actually, paravarna also is ukara, purvavarna is also ukara, interestingly. Anyway, repaha ukaraha. Ramanam.
Repaha.
There is no Purvatana Varna, sir.
Nothing. Nasti. Okay. So you should say nasti there. Okay. Kumarena.
Repaha akaraha.
Repaha akaraha. Well done. Maren. So ar. So repaha akaraha. Matrinam.
Rikaraha.
Takaraha. Well done. The ta vyanjana is preceding the r, because r is a swara here, swarakshara. Matrinam, of the mothers. So Rikaraha, dirga, sorry. Rikaraha and then Takaraha. Remember to write dirga, Rikaraha. Okay. Chitrakaranam. The instance is Repa and Takara. But Nimit is the Nimitta that Repa or this Repa?
First one.
No, it is the second one. Second one. Because when a new nimitta appears, it becomes the nimitta. Okay? It nullifies the previous nimitta, so we don't need to analyze the interseeds, etc. Okay? So before the nakara, who is the nearest nimitta? You have to see. This repa is to be identified. So what will be your answer?
Repa akara.
Akaraha. So if you write takaraha, you have little bit of less understanding of natva process. Okay, not a disaster, but little less understanding. Okay, that guy's influence is forgotten. This guy's influence is like a new wicket that has come into play. Okay, karma karanam. ह्रस्व अकारः ककारस्य ह्रस्व अकारः यदस्ति. So again, because this repa is closer than that repa, though that also would have proceeded. Okay, so double influence in this case, you can say roughly. Even there, double influence is there because interseeds are actually non-blockers. Ka is a non-blocker, ka is a non-blocker. It's a ku varna. Here it is a ku and a at varna. So that also
Even,
could have influenced.
Sir, even Magarga also is there, no, sir. Papa, ma.
Where Makara is there?
Karma.
No, but that ma is before the repa. It is not to be counted under Vyavadayaka, Avyavadayaka. Vyavadayaka, Avyavadayakas are between the Nimitta and the Nakara. Okay, not before the Nimitta. Here it was just a Purvatana Varna was like I told you, it was just a mental exercise. Here there is actually Natva type of analysis happening a little bit. Okay. Actually, even here not. We are continuing the Purvatana Varna thing. This is okay. This is just a game, guys, so that we learn how to do this breakup. So Karma Karanam, this Repa and the Purvatana Varna is the Hrasva Akara. You guys answered. So Kshamena. Kakaraha. See, this is your knowledge of this compound is very important. So just don't get enamored by the symbol. Remember what was the constituent. K and sh. Okay, you can actually write it that way if you wish. K, sh, a. Okay, so Shakaraha, K, sh, ksh. That's what I have shown here. So Kakaraha is the previous letter. So this was a what you call googly by Samskrita Bharati.
But it shouldn't be actually an exercise to identify the blockers and non-blockers.
That is the next exercise.
Okay.
Samskrita Bharati is slowly climbing the steps for us. Okay.
Good.
So, but next exercise, not enough time, so we will stop here. Okay, we will continue next week. But I know I'm very happy we have already started flowing into 10th lesson quite a bit. So I think next week and I won't be teaching the 11th lesson. 11th lesson is also important. Okay, it's called Prabandha Kathana, Patra Lekhanam, like this. A few things are there. I don't have, unfortunately, the luxury of time to teach you that, though I have taken 40 odd classes now. Because we have gone in great detail, and that is important. I want to do honestly whatever I teach, but I would like to excuse myself from teaching the 11th lesson, okay, and let you guys focus on that, okay, using the example. They have already given some exercises there, you focus. There are also 2 more suktis. I will see if in this week I will have time to add those 2 suktis into 2 slides and include it as an initial portion of the next class to teach off, and then continue into Natva process. Okay. So see you all.
One doubt.
One
doubt, Mahodaya. See, in first sloka there is Pita Pradibadha. They have given in the book as Karma Dharya. What type of Karma Dharya? They have given us Purvam Pitaha Paschat Pradibadha. What type of Karma Dharya, Mahodaya?
See, after Vatsa come into picture, it becomes Karma Dharya, because Vatsa is an Anga of the Angi, which is the cow. Okay, until Vatsa doesn't come into picture, Purvam Pitaha Paschat Baddhaha, like that they have explained. Pitascha Baddhascha Pita Baddha Vatsaha, like that.
So what type of Karma Dharya, Mahodaya? Is it a Visheshana Purvapada Karma Dharya?
There are, you can say 2 Visheshanas. Pitaha Baddhascha Vatsaha. Pitascha Baddhascha Vatsaha. The one who has drunk and one who has been bound, that kind of a calf. Okay. So then Pita Pratibadda Vatsa is a Bahuvrihi.
Bahuvrihi, that is a
Pitascha Baddascha Vatsaha Pita Pratibadda Badda. Pita Pratibadda is there, no?
Pita Pratibaddo
Pratibadda. So Pita Pratibadda Vatsaha. So now you have to make it flow it into Bahuvri. Pita Pratibadda Vatsaha Yasyaha Sa Pita Pratibadda Vatsa, like that.
Oh, yes.
Whomsoever. The child is of whomsoever. The child is now an anga of the angi, which is the mother. Okay?
Karmadharya is Bahuvrihi is understood, Mahodaya. Karmadharya simply they have given. What type of Karmadharya?
That Karmadharya is Visheshana Purupada. Like a stack of two Visheshanas are there.
Okay, Mahodaya. Thank you very much.
You can, if you want, you can do Dvandva of the Pita and Pratibadda. Okay? And then do a Karmadharya of the compound with the Vatsa if you want. But you don't want to do Karmadharya with the Vatsa because you want to take the Vatsa as Angi for Bahuvrihi.
Bahuvrihi, correct.
That's why. So you eliminate that. So keep the Vatsa aside as a Uttarapada for Bahuvrihi and use the Pita Pratibaddam as a Samahara. Okay, because one target. Okay. Pitascha Pratibaddascha Pita Pratibaddam. Pita Pratibaddam Vatsaha. It's okay. It's a Videka Bhava. Napumsak. Pita Pratibaddam Vatsaha Yasyaha Sa. I think. Okay. I don't know how they have done it there.
They have given us Pita Pratibadda.
What is the form after Pita Pratibadda?
The sentence is Purvam Pitaha Paschat Pratibaddaha Pita Pratibaddaha Karmadharya. That's all.
Oh, they have taken Ekavachana there. That is the problem. Okay. So they have done the Pratibaddaha, they have taken as a singular Uttarapada and taken Pita as a Visheshana to it, and Pitascha Pratibaddascha Pita Pratibaddaha, like that they have done in Ekavachana.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
and
is
then they have taken Vatsaha with in the Bahuvrihi. That's okay. Acceptable. They have taken Pratibaddaha as the Angi form of Vatsa only.
Yes, Mahodaya.
No problem.
Mahodaya, in that Natvam Ramayanam, in the answers in the textbook, he has given, it is given that Raka, Repaha and Akaraha. Yes. I don't know why Akaraha.
Nasti ityeva vaktavyam. They have made 0 marks for Samskrita Bharati's answer. Okay. No, once we can tell it, no problem. Okay. All right. So we will catch up next week. See you all. Bye.
Dhanyawada.
Namaste. Dhanyawad.